This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Road trip continues in Arizona, and tonight game number 2 of the 3-game set. We're at Chase Field. It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And welcome to the broadcast booth, and with Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Also, the Cat, Jim Hayes, is with us. Let's talk about a couple of guys that could be MVPs. We'll start with the third baseman of the Cardinals. Huge night last night, Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, no big deal. Just heads out on the road trip, goes 4 for 4. 3 doubles yesterday, but it's not just yesterday. This guy has been in fuego since July 1st. He's hitting for average. He's hitting for power. The 11 home runs tied for third. He's getting on base at a huge clip, and this guy is doing it all defensively. Dan, he's one of the best players in the game of baseball. He said he wanted to get better. In a few aspects, I'd say he's done that.
Nolan Arenado is in the lineup tonight for St. Louis, one of the best in the business, and certainly against Arizona. The former Diamondback, home run number 30 last night, in the lineup as well. Cardinals baseball coming up. Arizona getting set for game number 2. Chase Field, the scene. The Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. Our Budweiser What's on Tap? Hey, how about this guy in the lineup tonight? That's what's on tap, and maybe on his way to an MVP.
I would say absolutely on his way to an MVP. Look at what he's done this year. Hitting for average, hitting for power, hit his 30th home run of the year. He has been so good on each side of the baseball. Been a fun year.
Goldie in the lineup, Arenado in the lineup, Albert as well. Baseball coming up. 51, one of the hottest teams in all of baseball, looking to win another series. It's game 2, and it comes your way next. Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. With Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes with us as well. The roof is closed, as it is now for every game here in Arizona, with the artificial turf that they incorporate on their diamond. Madison Bumgarner is on the mound, and this is the lineup that he's going to face. The Cardinals in the victory blues on a Saturday on the road. Dylan Carlson, Tyler O'Neill, Paul Goldschmidt with home run number 30 last night. Arenado 3 doubles in game 1 of this series. Then Albert Pujols, the DH. Tommy Edman, Paul DeYoung, Andrew Kisner, and Lars Nootbaar. Madison Bumgarner, one of the greatest postseason pitchers in the history of this game, and that's not overstating it. He really is.
No, he certainly is. You look at the numbers, and they are astounding. You look at the numbers, though, this year, and they're okay. Madison Bumgarner, the Hyundai pitch arsenal here, uses his cutter a lot. He'll try to get in on the right-handers, use that down and in. He'll ride the four-seamer up there. Curveball has not been as effective this year for Madison Bumgarner either. That used to be his put-out pitch, but it has not been as good this season.
And the first pitch to Dylan Carlson, swung on, and a high fly ball into shallow right center. Alec Thomas, the center fielder tonight, puts it away, and we're underway here in game 2.
Left fielder number 27.
Defense for the Diamondbacks. Around the horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Christian Walker at first, Rojas Perdomo up the middle, Alcantara, the former Cub, he's at third. Carson Kelly is behind the plate, and yeah, McCarthy, Thomas, and Varsho in the outfield. And the first pitch to Tyler O'Neill is taken for a strike.
I certainly don't mind the approach of swinging first pitch with Dylan Carlson. He's going to try to get ahead with his fastball a lot and work from there. Opponent's hitting .448 on the first pitch against Bumgarner.
O'Neill was 0 for 5 yesterday. He's got 18 career hits against Arizona. 12 of the 18 have gone for extra bases. And the 1-1 pitch from Mad Bum. Left side on the ground. Alcantara makes a nice play to his left, and that's the second out. So the Cardinals have a chance to extend their lead in the Central Division to 5 games. Cubs in extra innings at Wrigley defeated Milwaukee 6-5. Nice round of applause for Goldie. Cracked his 30th home run of the season last night. His 7th season, 30 or more home runs. First Cardinal with back-to-back 30 home run campaigns since Albert did it. And the first pitch hit high in the air out to center. Alec Thomas under it. Has it. It's been 9 days since we've seen Dakota Hudson toe the rubber. Hits the call in game 2. A 1-2-3 for Mad Bum. Hudson on the mound for St. Louis. And there's no score after a half inning. Dakota Hudson on the mound for the Cardinals, a record of 6-6. Skipped a start. Ollie telling us in his office today really has worked hard on trying to be better against left-handed batters. We'll see if that's the case tonight. The Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Well, he's going to sink it. You know, the slider's good. A good swing and miss pitch for him. Also a good pitch. Just get weak contact. He's been running that four-seam up in the zone. But I'm with you. We're going to find out what this little layoff did. Extra bullpen sessions, more focus on these left-handed batters. He's going to see 6 batters from the left side. So going to be a big challenge here for Dakota.
And the first one he'll face Dalton Varsho, then Rivera and Rojas, Walker, McCarthy, Kelly, Alcantara, Thomas, Perdomo. And the first pitch by Dakota Hudson is taken for a ball, working with Andrew Kisner here tonight. The Arizona lineup a collective 1 for 16 against Hudson. And the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Even in the bullpen sessions for Hudson, they would have somebody stand in from the left side just to give him that look of a left-handed batter. There you go. 2-1.
Well, you can already tell the conscious effort to be able to get inside and command that side of the plate against lefties. We've seen Dakota a lot this year miss arm side, miss off the plate, sinkers just running away.
And it's fouled back. He has not pitched more than 5 innings in his last 3 starts. Really a quick hook by Ollie. But a lot of that is a byproduct of lefties coming up, and he doesn't want them to face Hudson another time.
Yeah, well, you also have that ability now with the additions to this rotation. You know, you've got a bunch of guys that can get you deeper. You can go to your pen if you need to.
Missed down and in, 3-2. Varsho, very versatile player, and I mean versatile, playing center field and can catch. And a ground ball, pulled foul and broke his bat. You don't see that very often. A center fielder and a catcher. Craig Biggio is the last one I think of that did that.
And he's good behind the plate.
Yeah.
Hey, you like that kind of versatility. They have not wanted to put him back behind the plate, but sometimes, you know, injuries pop up. You got to do what you got to do. It's nice to have a player that can do something like that.
He's actually thrown out 6 of 18 base stealers as a catcher.
You'll take it.
Always felt if you could play short and center, you're going to have a job for a long time. Center and catcher, maybe a really long time. And a ground ball hit to Tommy Edman. Cardinals have gone 7 straight games without an error, and that's the first out. Kisner behind the plate after a 3-hit night by Yachty in game 1. Arenado, DeYoung, Edman, and Goldie on the infield. O'Neill, Carlson, and Nootbaar. Round the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Yadier Molina in Puerto Rico tonight and again tomorrow, tending to business matters. He'll join the Cardinals in Chicago on Monday. Emmanuel Rivera, the designated hitter. And so Ivan Herrera has been activated for the ball game tonight. Rivera hitting .247. 10 home runs, and he's driven in 28.
There's 2 batters now, first 2 that Dakota has fallen behind, 2-0 in the count. The pitch that he ended up getting Dalton Varsho on, it was a sinker just middle down. I mean, his stuff moves so much. You don't have to be fine. You do not have to be perfect. Start in the middle, let it move.
And a strike. Your Toyota key to the game.
Well, for Dakota, it's be in command, and it certainly means in command of your stuff. Need to get ahead, need to be able to work ahead and continue to pound the strike zone, but also in command of the pace. That's something that Ollie has talked about a lot this season for Dakota. Last time out against the Rockies, pace was better. but did fall behind, walked 4. 2 of those walks came in to score. And remember, they were with 2 outs as well. That's frustrating when you don't have a lot of swing and miss. You can't have the free passes.
3-1 pitch by Hudson. And that's taken low in a 1-out walk. So you're a guy that was a very good sinker baller. Does it change sometimes your arm angle because you're so conscious of trying to get in on a lefty and throw the strikes to the lefty that righty lefty it can change a bit?
Yeah, certainly. For me it did. My arm angle actually tended to drop against the lefties because I felt like I didn't have to get on top of the baseball to get that true sink. With the righty I did for fear of hitting him. If I let my arm drop at all, it would sail and hit him. So I really had to focus on really thinking almost like I was throwing to a right-hander and really focus on the glove. Forget the batter, forget where he's standing, focus on where I want that baseball to be.
Here's Rojas hitting .370 in his last 15 games. The fixture at first base in his 9th season with Arizona, their first base coach Dave McKay, always keeping a clock on the pitchers, the times. He's now in his 39th major league season. 39.
Dave was asking me about my workout plan earlier.
Is that right?
No, I was asking him.
He was asking you for longevity.
Yeah, what should I not be doing? What are you up to?
Dave had 28 years alongside Tony La Russa.
Yeah, great coach. Just somebody that can explain every little facet of the game and loves it.
1 ball and 1 strike. The next ground ball, base hit. And Rivera on his way to third base, and runners at the corners for the Diamondbacks here in the first inning. Gets the ground ball, but it finds a hole through the right side.
Well, and that's the frustrating part isn't the fact that a ground ball found a hole. When you have a sinker ball pitcher, you're going to get that a lot. The frustrating part is the guy that is on before him was on via the free pass. That's what you're trying to limit.
Ground ball, base hit. Here's Christian Walker. 29 home runs, and he's driven in 69. Runners at the corners. Walker is grounded into 10 double plays, and anytime you got Hudson on the mound, you're thinking about that.
Dakota's going to have to be careful with that sinker running in.
And a high fly ball lifted out to deep center, backing up Carlson with room. He'll make the catch. Rivera will tag up, and so will Rojas. Both runners tag up. One scores, and it's 1-0. RBI number 70 for Walker.
Well, Walker did get the sinker, and it just tails back the middle. And it's another free pass that comes around to score.
Give Rojas credit for tagging up from first to second. Took a chance, and it paid off.
It was smart to do there. I mean, that ball's on the track. You're going to test the arm. Everything's going to have to be perfect to get him.
There's Jake McCarthy hitting .274, shift on the right side, and a fastball high.
I think that right there is an example of what we were just talking about, missing arm side with the lefty. If that's a right-hander, you're going to end up hitting him. Really just got to focus on down in the zone, arm on top.
It's the first time the Cardinals have trailed in a long time, since Tuesday night. 7th inning against the Rockies. They were trailing 4-3 and eventually won that game 5-4. Here's a 1-1 pitch to McCarthy. The 1-2. Missed down and in. 2-2. McCarthy is hit safely of 9 of his last 11. He's had 19 starts in right, 18 in left, 5 in center, 4 at DH, and he's in left field tonight.
Pretty versatile player. We saw it last night, even in a hitless affair, showing off the speed, the hustle, everything that they love about this kid.
The 2-2. So Hudson with a walk in this inning. That's now 24 in his last 45. I would venture to say good majority of those have probably come around to score too.
Tends to happen that way, doesn't it?
At this level, they make you pay. 3-2 pitch by Dakota Hudson. Fouled back. Cardinals are hopeful that Jack Flaherty comes out of a rehab assignment tomorrow. He would have one more after that. And then at that point, you have a decision to make on what you want to do. And Steven Matz is out there, too.
It's nice to be able to have decisions to make, isn't it? The reports last time out from Jack Flaherty were very good. Velocity was getting up there. Touched 97 in that game. Love hearing that.
And the 3-2 pitch. The second walk in the inning. Yeah, we asked Ollie yesterday about Flaherty. What are the reports? You know, we can read about them. We can see what they say. He said no. They're coming back with glowing remarks about velocity, how he's recovered, arm angle, all of it. It's been very good.
The box score is a little bit different than the reports they get internally, right? I mean, they're going to get all of the little nuance around it. So it's great to hear that. And you know how much of a boost that Jack Flaherty can be. I'm sure it's been a very frustrating year for him and a guy that they thought they were going to be able to bank on.
There's Carson Kelly and a pitch taken high. Hitting .310 in his last 31 with an .897 OPS. Runners at first and second. 2 down and the 1-0 pitch. Lined into right field, coming on and can't make the play. It's Newfar. A run will score. Looked like he may have had it, and then it came out of the glove, and it's a 2-0 Arizona lead.
It looked like he was about to make a miraculous play. This was going to be tough. Sinking liner right at Newt. We've seen him make a couple of plays like this coming in on the baseball, but just couldn't hold on to it. Looked like it catapulted out of his glove. Center cut fastball there from Hudson. Good look at the play. That just bounced right in front of him. That's some real trouble if Newt doesn't knock it down.
Maybe you're inside the park home run, even with a Carson Kelly running. I mean, he was coming way in. That gets by him. You're in big trouble. Already Mike Maddox out to visit. I would imagine that it's not going to be long for Dakota Hudson if things are going like this, because your bullpen is rested. You've got a Jake Woodford out there. Palante can give you innings. You want to look at JoJo Romero. I mean, there's a lot of options to get you through it.
Well, especially when you have the offense doing what it has been doing here recently. You feel like you can dig out of a small hole, but you don't want to build a bigger one. Now, you do have to also think, though, and you get the extra man for it, but you have the doubleheader coming up. There's 5 games in 4 days there in Chicago. So, obviously, you'd love to get some sort of length here out of Hudson, but you got to get him clicked in quickly.
Pitch number 26 and a strike. Sergio Alcantara, the switch hitter. Late with that swing, 0-2. Runners at first and third. And the 0-2 pitch. Kelly is running, and Kisner no throw on what was somewhat of a delayed steal, maybe by design to try to get Kelly in a rundown. And if he throws through, I think he's got him dead to rights.
Yeah, he does. And look, you have plays to combat that as well. You can always come up, cut that throw early. A little surprised you don't see a throw here.
First stolen base for Carson Kelly. Inside corner and a strikeout. First of the night for Dakota Hudson. Gives up 2. Diamondbacks strand 2 after 1. Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Salt River, not too far away from where we're at. Chase Field in Phoenix. Madison Bumgarner, a 5-pitch first inning, a couple of flyouts and a ground out. Cardinals win 1-2-3, and here's Nolan Arenado. Arenado 4 hits last night, which included 3 doubles.
We were talking about it after that first inning too, Dan. I mean, 3 balls that really were center cut from Bumgarner. You'll be able to get to him early in counts.
It's the 3rd time that Arenado has had a 3-double game. Only Freddie Freeman can lay claim to that as well. He's the active leader in homers and RBI against Arizona, and hitting .309. Chops it towards third. Fair ball taken by Alcantara, and it brings in Albert Pujols.
Designated hitter, number 5.
The Kia player profile, Albert Pujols. Last 7 against lefties, 8 for 16 and 4 home runs. And the first pitch. Albert launches one. Deep left center. It's at the wall. Gone! 691. He passes Stan the Man in total bases. A historic blast from number 5.
Goosebumps. Like, unbelievable when this guy comes up, the things that he does. First pitch again against Madison Bumgarner, gets a fastball, goes down and hammers it.
9 away from 700. Chopped left side off the bat of Tommy Edman. And out number 2.
You just tell with the ovation, this crowd was waiting for that. He got the standing O before he even swung the bat. First pitch, he does it. Man, that ball, that's a deep part of the ballpark, too.
His first home run was at this ballpark in number 691 back in Arizona. 5 back of A-Rod. And he passes Stan the Man in total bases. He's now up to 6,137, second all-time in the history of baseball.
The way that Albert is doing it right now, and certainly this damage has been mainly against the lefties. You get a look at the all-time total base leaders there. Second all-time only behind Hank Aaron. You don't have to squint to see 700. I mean, you just have to see him keep doing what he's doing, get the opportunities that he is. He's taking advantage of every bit of it. And you know, being around these guys, how energized they are because of that guy.
I'm energized because of him.
Man.
Everybody is. It's been great. As DeYoung chops it towards third. He's now over his last 17. Dug out by Walker. Albert Pujols, 12th home run. In number 691. And the teammates, they're loving it. We all are in 2022. Welcome home, number 5. What a ride.
Leading off for the D-backs, center fielder, number 5.
They already got the ball back and authenticated for Albert. It bounced back onto the playing surface. 691 for Pujols. So just 5 back of A-Rod. And there is another historic baseball for Albert.
It seems like every time this guy steps to the plate, history is happening. It feels that way because that's exactly what is going on, and the fans know it. Whether it's at home at Busch Stadium, here at Chase Field, they're showing up for this guy.
I don't know if you feel this way. He has surpassed what I thought it might be, and I thought it was going to be pretty good. It's been even better.
I don't think there's any question. I mean, this is a guy that you knew the resume coming in. You saw how the Dodgers used him and figured, man, maybe the Cardinals can do that. Maybe he could give you some of the same. Well, he's giving you that and more. First swing, first pitch he sees from Mad Bum, he deposits it, coming in hitting .358 against lefties. I think they've used him really well.
Off of Hudson, directs to the second baseman Edman, and the play is made. That'll go 1-4-3.
It's an important inning, too, for Dakota Hudson. With one swing of the bat from that man, you just got all the energy back.
Yes.
Everything came swinging back your way. It was a long first inning. 29 pitches, only 15 strikes in the first inning for Dakota. He's got a chance to get right back in there.
If you didn't have the pandemic shortened season, he's probably at 700, you'd have to say.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, and I know you agree with me to an extent. Here's Perdomo. When the Cardinals got him, you and I were talking. You were down at spring training, I believe, with me, and I said he is going to have a good year. And it's not just because I think he's a talented player, because he's one of the greatest I've ever seen, if not the best. But he's going to feed off the energy of being back in St. Louis. And in my time of doing these games, I can't think of a player that is fed off the energy, and there's a strikeout of a crowd, and rising to the occasion like Albert has. And it makes me think, what if all those years were spent in St. Louis? Are we talking 750, 800 right now? I mean, who knows?
You just never know. You never know, but love seeing this, too. I mean, these two guys, the admiration between the two of them, the friendship there, the opportunity that was given. Sometimes something just has to go away and then come back, maybe to appreciate it again.
Well, that was interesting there, seeing Ollie and Albert talking like that as Kisner makes the play. And to your point, right back at it, 1-2-3 for Dakota Hudson. 2-1.
To the third, and Arizona Cards down 2-1. Paul Goldschmidt has the gaudy offensive numbers and the highlight reel defensive plays, but there's so much more than that. You see him go first to third, take an extra base. Last night he scores when the ball gets away from the catcher. Nolan Arenado said this of Goldschmidt: he does it all. He's the best player in baseball. That's just the way it is. I stand by that comment with a lot of confidence. And Danny, I know you mentioned that before, but Nolan is now more certain than ever that it's true, and with good reason. And by the way, Ali Marmol agrees with Nolan too.
So much fun to watch. You've got a pair of guys at the corners that could be the MVP of this league, and I do think it'll probably go to Goldie at this point. But then the story of Yadi and Albert and Waino mixing in with 13 guys that have made a debut this year and key contributors. Heck, even having Skip back is fun.
Of course it is, and a couple of key, acquisitions at the trade deadline. You shored up your starting staff. Got a special group, and you can really feel it being around them and just watching how they all interact. Everybody's loving coming to the yard.
Kisner pops it foul and out of play. I mean what I said about number 55 being back. He is one of my all-time favorites.
He's one of the best, and he does a great job. I mean, it's this staff. I think it's very important when you're trying to build a winning environment. You better have a staff that enjoys being around each other as well and bounces ideas off each other. And it's not just, oh yes, yes man, yes man. No, it's hey, let's have conflicting ideas. Let's come up with the best option. I think they do that really well as a staff.
Bumgarner didn't get the call. And a count of 2-2 on Andrew Kisner. 2 for 12, only 12 ABs here in August. And a swing and a miss on the breaking ball by Madison Bumgarner. If you're wondering, Albert had homered against Bumgarner before, so he's still one back of Bonds. Pick your favorite defensive moment in the greatest play ever sweepstakes presented by Pixel Vault. Chance to win tickets to a 2022 regular season game of your choice. MLB.com. Here's Nootbaar. Nootbaar with 6 walks in his last 4 games, 10 in his last 10. He's cut down on the strikeouts and has really provided this lineup quietly a boost.
There's some stability really in this lineup. A guy, you know, if it's against a righty, maybe he's leading off for you. A lefty, he's hitting 9th. He's been solid defensively. 422 on base in August. And that's a pitch right there that he's been laying off of. Top of the zone. He's doing a really good job of not waving through that.
Mad Bum had a 5-pitch first inning, the fewest pitches in the first inning in his career. Then greeted with a home run after he got Arenado in the second. 2-1 our score, 3-1 pitch, 3-2.
It's a good cutter right there from Madison Bumgarner. He uses that pitch a lot, whether it's to while he is ahead or to get back into counts.
3-2, and it's off the plate and a walk. 1-out walk for Nootbaar. Well, we have a moment. Let's hear from the great folks at Siteman Cancer Center.
You are someone's favorite person, and your health matters. For the lives you touch, schedule your cancer screening today.
I want to say thank you to the folks at Siteman. They do a great job, and for their support of Cardinal baseball. So Nootbaar extends his career high streak, walking in 5 straight. He's at first base. Here's Carlson showing bunt and looks at a strike. Madison Bumgarner, 6'4", 260-pounder. He's a 4-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champ. And in postseason, he has 3 shutouts and a 2.11 ERA in 16 postseason games.
Is that good?
He was even really good and better in 14. He was almost unhittable when he was the MVP of both League Championship Series and the World Series. He holds the all-time record, lowest career World Series ERA, .25. He did that in 2014, and in that postseason run, 52 2/3 innings. He was awesome.
Not afraid to trot out of the bullpen and give you 5 either.
No, short rest.
Yeah, that was epic. So for all those reasons, though, like that's an incredible resume, and maybe even Hall of Fame resume when you're looking at just that postseason. You can't let the name on the back of the jersey get you out, though, because this is not the same guy. The stuff isn't the same. The velocity's down. The breaking stuff isn't the same. You got to go out there and just see the ball and hit it.
And the 1-1 swung on and missed. Carlson 8 for his last 20 with a home run. Fly to center on the first pitch of the ball game to start game number 2. Tomorrow, Quintana against Merrill Kelly. Kelly's had a good season, 10-5 with a 2.81 ERA. And the 1-2 pitch to Dillon. And a strikeout. 2 strikeouts in the game, both coming here in this third.
I'm not sure you could put this pitch in a better spot. Cutter, backdoor, just catches the corner. A really good spot. Home plate umpire Jeff Nelson likes it. By the way, we've seen early in this game, which should be advantageous to Dakota Hudson. He's calling the ball down. Stay down there.
There's Tyler O'Neill. The pitch that's called a strike on the inside corner. So the crew chief, as you mentioned, Jeff Nelson behind the plate, CB Buckner down at first, Alex Tussey at second, and Stu Shewwater is down at third. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Game number 119 tonight. The Cardinals 67-51.
Well, it took 118 games, but we saw a little history yesterday. Well, not history, but a first. The first win that the Cardinals got in the first game of a road trip.
How about that? That's hard to imagine. Base hit for O'Neill, cut off by Thomas. And Newbar will stop at third, and it brings in Paul Goldschmidt. It has been ridiculous, the numbers that Goldie has put up, generally speaking, this year. And then you think about what he's done against the lefties. Man, oh man. 438 the average. 7th best single season mark in Cardinals history.
He's got an 865 slug against lefties. That's video game stuff. It really is.
First pitch taken for a ball. Goldie fly to center. First time up. Look at this against Madison Bumgarner. 11 extra base hits. The .338 average, 4 home runs. A ball and a strike. Carson Kelly steps out in front of the dish, and maybe the defensive alignment here sending some signals. Goldie is still beloved here in Arizona. One of the great players they've ever had here. Of his 30 home runs, 9 have been against lefties. The 1-1. 2 strikes. Arenado on deck.
Madison Bumgarner is doing a good job of staying on the corners. Breaking ball actually has a little bit more depth than we've seen here over his last couple of starts.
See some of the Cardinals kind of in between with that breaking ball and that late break that he's had. The 1-2. 2-2.
It's the hard part with Bumgarner. He turns his body, then he crossfires. So stuff as a right-hander, it ends up boring in on you. And then if he's able to backdoor that cutter and you're already looking in, you got no chance.
And when he had his velocity, that was such a good pitch. Be able to get in on the righties. The 2-2. We'll do it again.
That's the thing we've seen all year long with Goldie too, is his ability just to spoil pitches, just make you work, foul stuff off if you can't get to it, and then inevitably pitchers will make a mistake and he makes them pay.
The 2-2. Goldie base hit into right. The ball game is tied. Take what they give you, and that's what Goldie did as he drives in his 97th with a 2-out single to right.
This is a really good sequence by Madison Bumgarner as well. It's the hard cutter in. Goldie fouls that off, gives himself another chance. Then it's a fastball, and this is well off the plate away and just drives it through that wide open right side. He covers everything.
Incredible. I mean, a lot of big-time power hitters, they pull off that pitch.
Yes. Well, and look how far that ball has to travel, too. You just got to be able to be patient and trust the hands.
So Goldie now 3 RBI shy of his first 100 RBI season since 2017 with Arizona. 2-2 game, 2 runners on. And a pitch taken by Nolan Arenado for a ball. He grounded out to third first time up. 277 the average with runners in scoring position. Pujols on deck. One ball and 1 strike.
Well, we talked about it in the first inning with Dakota Hudson, the free passes. They just always seem to find a way to come around and bite you. That was the case in this inning against Madison Bumgarner. It was Lars Nootbaar that walked, ended up coming around to score on that single by Goldie.
The 1-1. 2 strikes on Arenado. Cardinals are 18-9 this year facing lefties. Second in slugging percentage, first in on base, third in batting in all of baseball when facing the southpaws. And the 1-2. 2-2. Another big crowd here in Arizona. They had their 3rd largest crowd of the season last night. I'm sure a lot of that is the man on deck, also number 4. And the Cardinals in town. Cardinal fans travel so well. And the 2-2 is a high fly ball to Dalton Varsho. Under it, makes the catch. 2-out single to right by Goldie. It scores Lars Nootbaar, and we're tied 2-2. Don't miss a Ludo night at Busch Stadium, August 26th. That's a Friday. Purchase of a special theme ticket. You'll get a Ludo-themed baseball tee. Come early for a pregame performance by Ludo on the Budweiser stage. Tickets, visit cardinals.com/theme. Ludo night. Ludo night.
You gonna be there early?
How do you do?
What do you
for
mean?
Ludo? Ludo.
It's Ludo.
Ludo night.
Good. Very good.
Tell me about them.
They jam.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you used to jam too.
You like it. Well, you know, I grew out of that hat, huh? Anyways, I play with the guitar a little bit. Know the beginning of a bunch of songs. Talked about this a lot. Still to this day don't know a whole song, but almost there.
A whole song.
Yeah, don't know one.
Here's Rivera. Watch out, and that's way inside. 3-1. When did you start playing guitar?
Oh, probably college.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just the hooks of a bunch of stuff. Not dedicated enough to really dig into it.
3-1. Foul.
This is another opportunity here for Dakota. Try to have a quick inning. Last inning. After Albert hit his home run, he responded. 7 pitches is all it took. That's what you want to see again.
3-2 pitch to Rivera. Walked and scored back in the first inning. And he walked him. 3rd walk issued by Dakota Hudson. Here's Josh Rojas. Base hit to right and a run scored in the first inning. If you just joined us, Albert Pujols is homered, number 691. Now with 6,137 total bases to pass Stan the Man, second all time in Major League Baseball history. Goldschmidt has the other run batted in, and there's a strike. Shift on the right side. Albert is due up first, looking ahead to the fourth inning. And the 0-1. You see on your computer over there, are you looking up the hits of Ludo?
Oh, I'm digging into baseball stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm doing here. I'll do that after the game.
All right. I'm looking forward to meeting the band. The 1-1. And a souvenir here at Chase Field. Cardinals, really, they've dominated the series all time. About 40 games up on above 500 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Came into the league in 1998. Cardinals are 101-63 as a matter of fact. And a ground ball could be two. Arenado fires. Got him. Boy, he kind of cocked and then wham, fired it over to first base.
It was quick.
Woo.
One of the nuances of the shifts.
6-5-3, and Arizona will challenge.
That's really close.
Really is.
The call on the field is an out at second and an out at first. Arizona is challenging both plays.
Well, a very good job right there by Dakota Hudson just to get the ground ball in the first place. It was a changeup down in the zone, got Rojas to swing over it and just catch the top of it.
You hear the reaction of the crowd, but I can't tell if it's because they're a Diamondbacks fan or a Cardinal fan. There are a ton of Cardinal fans here tonight. This is the most I can remember. Last night, tonight.
Well, that's something I was going to ask you about. Is we've seen what Albert's doing in his final year, and we've seen some of these crowds. Is this some of the most energy that you've seen on the road as the Cardinals travel around this year?
I think so. Saw it in Denver for sure.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing it more in the second half because I do think fans are saying this could be my final time to see him, and there could be Cardinal fans that are transplants living out here or on the West Coast. I bet we see it in San Diego a bit, and in the reception he'll get in LA will be interesting too.
Yes, yeah, it will. It'll be a good one.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a really good energy, and always is, coming up on Monday in Wrigley. 5 games in 4 days there.
After review, the out call at second is confirmed. The out call is overturned. The runner is safe. Arizona challenge.
So 6-5 fielder's choice. By the way, that's the final time we'll be at Wrigley. Hard to imagine not having an Albert or a Yadier Molina next year at Wrigley Field.
It'll be a scene then.
Yep.
It'll be a scene for sure.
Christian Walker hit one to center with runners at first and third. Scored a run, his 70th RBI, and both runners would tag up on the play. So 1 out. And back in safely, Rojas. Keep an eye on him. 17 stolen bases.
the first at bat against Walker, that sac fly. Dakota really got away with one. It was a fastball that leaked back over the middle.
That is over the head of Walker. Or did it hit him? Apparently it just barely got him, I guess. Thankful it didn't get him in the helmet too hard or neck or face area. So a hit by pitch to go along with 3 walks tonight.
And this one from Dakota, it's just curveball, trying to spin it. It pops right out of his hand. You see the arm drop. That does barely get him in the back. Yeah, arm drop, hand got to the side of that. That was trouble from Jump Street.
Jake McCarthy walked. See him taking a peek down at Nolan Arenado. Runners at first and second. Hudson has been able to get 20 ground ball double plays, second in the National League. So 3 walks tonight. He's got 9 issued in his last 11 innings. I'm sure he feels pressure too with what's going on, having just been skipped. He knows there's been issues against the lefties. He's walked 3 already.
It's very difficult to just go out there and pitch. You're always thinking through things, and certainly when you've had the struggles that you've had with the command, it continues to creep in.
And there's your ground ball, but a late jump and break on that ball by Tommy Edman, but he makes the play. Sliding for it to his left. The runners advance to second and third.
Pretty athletic play right there by Tommy Edman, being able to range into that gap, make the sliding play.
Here's Carson Kelly. Singled, picked up an RBI with 2 outs back in the first inning. Then picked up his first stolen base of the year. Runners at second and third, and Kelly drives it into the gap left center. And it drops in for a hit. 2 runs will score, and he's driven in 3 tonight. Diamondbacks back on top 4-2.
Carson Kelly wasn't wasting any time. He was looking for something elevated. The Chevy pitch tracks, fastball away. Ends up catching a little bit too much of the plate. Not hit hard at all, but just dies in front of Dylan Carlson out there in center field. A lot of baseball left. There's going to be a bunch of back and forth in this one.
Yep. Sergio Alcantara. And the check swing, he went, strike 1. There's also a St. Louis connection to the coaching staff of the Diamondbacks. Joe Mather, who was in St. Louis. He's the hitting coach. Played with the Cardinals, Atlanta, and the Chicago Cubs. Was a manager for a while in the minor leagues. Fastball taken low. 1 ball and 1 strike. And a grounder foul. Studying is Albert Pujols and waiting for that next at bat, which will be coming up in the 4th.
That's a scary sight to see if you're an opposing pitcher. Thinking, what are you looking at?
What have you detected on me? Fouled back.
1-2 the count. With the movement that Hudson can create, at times it does become a guessing game for him about where this ball and where this pitch is going to go.
That's why I really think that the focus should just be down middle. It's not going to end up there.
And a strikeout. Coming up, Albert Pujols. Crowd trying to catch history, and they get it. Number 691. Teammates love it. The fans have loved it. What a ride it's been in 2022. In the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam.
Albert Pujols in the sweet swing, the high finish. He's done this now 691 times in his career. The first pitch is taken high. If he gets a hit, he is then one shy of 939 in terms of multi-hit games. This would be 938.
Just look at some of the takes, especially against left-handed pitchers. That's a good breaking ball down under the zone. Doesn't even flinch. Knows out of the hand it's not going to be a strike.
The 2-0 pitch. Oh, shaking that left arm and that wrist, I guess.
That cutter caught him out in front. Maybe rolled that wrist over.
The 2-1 pitch. Now, before the game, they were treating his hand for a blister. So if you swing the bat a lot, that happens. Just you don't normally see it late in the season. But it happens. How about one more? The 3-1. Pujols rifles it, foul. Guess the hand's all right.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
He'll be just fine.
His slugging percentage here in August is .964. 5 home runs, and he's driven in 12. A home run back in the second inning, and now a 3-2 pitch from Madison Bumgarner. Pulled foul. To think it all began here in Arizona in terms of the home runs, and now here we are 2022 and he's got 691.
How well do you remember the beginning of that?
Well, I just never thought I'd see this.
I don't think many did.
No.
How could you know?
Popped up and out of play. We had heard about this Pujols character in his 1 year in the minor leagues. I remember talking to Walt Jocketty. He said, man, we got this hitter. This guy's coming. You know, he's pretty good. And then he joined Memphis at the end for that stretch run. And here he is making the club. It was just incredible.
And never looked back.
No. 3-2 pitch. Albert again. Left center. It is gone. He's done it again. 2 home runs tonight. 692. He's amazing. Remarkable. Incredible. Is this real?
He might get a curtain call here at Chase Field.
He might. Come on, Albert. They're trying to get it. This is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in sports.
How can you not love baseball?
It's unbelievable. It's awesome. 692 home runs for the great Albert Pujols, 8 now away from 700. A multi-home run game. He's hit a grand slam this week coming off the bench. I'll say it again. Is this real?
It sure feels like it, doesn't it?
Wow.
I mean, this is the numbers that he's putting up. We've talked about the left-handed, the splits, but just the energy that he brings to this ball club and the excitement that he brings and the knowledge that he brings. They needed him.
So it's a multi-hit game, ho-hum. Only 938 of those. He's one shy of being in the top 10, the history of baseball in multi-hit games.
I mean, this is vintage locked-in Albert right now. He's just seeing everything. Talked about it in that at-bat, the take on the breaking ball that was down under the zone. Not even a flinch, not caught out on his front foot at all. Weight stayed back, just recognizing pitches, and the hands look quick right now.
The 2-2 pitch to Tommy Edman. Poor Tommy, he's got to follow all this. He's got a front row seat, though.
I don't think he minds it.
Nope. I'll say it again. See this man play. It's worth it. Get to the ballpark. And a ground ball hit to third. Alcantara makes the play, and that's the first out. The All-State mayhem moment. 8th pitch of the at-bat and his second home run tonight. Letting the ball get deep, too.
Just seeing a fastball up in the zone. Same area, both home runs. Loud noises, too. We've been talking about it the last couple of days during batting practice, Dan. I mean, he's been putting the ball way deep. Everybody flocking to get out here and see him. I think even these fans here are getting a little bit more than they expected.
13 home runs, and he's now driven in 37. There was a time this year we were in Boston, and I thought, you know what, we may have seen the best of Albert. You know, just some of those at bats. The 64th career multi-home run game, passing Willie Mays for 5th most all time. I thought this might be it. He did not have great at bats. Remember that series?
Oh yeah.
How is Ollie going to be able to get him the proper at bats to keep him somewhat sharp? Throw that out the window. If there's a lefty, I don't care when it is in the game, get him in the game and let him do his thing.
Well, he's already shown you that Ollie is not afraid of what time of the game it is. Albert came into pinch hit in the 3rd inning, hit that grand slam 2 days ago. He's going to get the start against every lefty. If he's good to go, he's going to be in there.
So tonight alone, Albert Pujols has passed Stan the Man in total bases, 2nd all-time. And with the 2nd home run in the game, he now has passed Willie Mays, 5th all-time in multi-home run games, 64. Here's a couple of names for you. Take it in. You will never, ever see another one like this guy.
Catcher.
You just won't.
No, we keep talking about it. And said it yesterday, I'd love to be wrong. I just don't think you're going to see stuff like this. You're not going to see him. You're not going to see a battery like Waino and Yachty. Again, you're not going to see 300+ starts from two guys together. Just, it's not going to happen.
Only thing that could be better is to see him cap it off with a ring in St. Louis. This team is starting to get that feel of winning,
and gelling and getting healthy.
Well, I think that this game is a perfect example right here. I mean, you're looking at a game where you started out in a hole. They've been fighting themselves back into it. You just never feel like you're out of a ball game right now, and it's a special feeling to have. Then you go out there and you solidify that pitching staff, because that was the biggest question. I mean, how are you going to get through the rest of this year? You're burning up your bullpen. You're using so many different guys. You pick up Quintana. You pick up Montgomery. I mean, you don't have any glaring holes anymore as a ball club.
And the 1-1. I'm not sure if you're the Diamondbacks, you can allow him to face Bumgarner again, unless you walk him. If he's still in the game, pitch count is at 68, but if it rolls over to him again, I'm not sure you do. Or any lefty. There's a rope off the bat of Kisner, fair down into the left field corner. And Andrew has extra bases with 2 down here in this top of the 4th. Would you agree with that?
No, I would. I would. I mean, the score is going to indicate what you're doing, and certainly the pitch count. If he's cruising, I think you could allow him to be careful, but I don't think you want to see that matchup again.
Nope.
I would love to see that matchup again.
Me too.
The breaking ball had been sharper here for Madison Bumgarner, but he leaves one center cut for Andrew Kisner. He needed that one too.
And a base hit into right off the bat of Newbar. They're going to wave in Kisner. The throw is cut off. He'll score. Walker cut it off, and the game is tied.
Well, great job by Newt. Get something elevated again. We talk a lot about that smooth stroke of his, just nice and level.
Coming up, gunning in right is Varsho, and look, that's a throw there. If it's online, you got a really good chance of getting Kisner.
Not a really good chance. He's gone by 5 steps.
The throw might have been coming up the line a little bit, but even if that's the case, Walker's got to do a better job of getting his feet in position to make a throw on a relay.
Yeah. The pitch outside to Dylan Carlson. We're tied 4-4. Cardinals have out hit the Diamondbacks 6-3. Albert Pujols, a couple of home runs. And it's fouled back. Big Cardinal fan Mike Imig here at the game tonight in Arizona wants to say hi to folks. Supporting the Cardinals, and we've seen that, fans all over the place. Wearing the Cardinal red, and tonight some of that blue sprinkled in. Newbar back in safely, and he's on base for the 2nd time. A walk and a run scored in the 3rd. 2-out RBI to right field to score Kisner. Carlson has fly to center and struck out on a called 3rd strike. A cutter that was that backdoor cutter that you've been talking about tonight.
That's a good pitch, and really with Carlson, that's one maybe you can protect by fouling it off, but it never looks like a strike until that thing crosses the plate. This is the count you want to be in, though. Get yourself something up.
Inside, and it's 3-1. No activity in either bullpen. They start to stretch now a bit in the Arizona pen. Three-one. Full count. High fly ball out to deep right center. And over to get it will be Dalton Varsho. Albert Pujols an 8-pitch at bat and home run number 692. 2 for 2 tonight. 2 solo home runs. Number 5. Cardinals insider, final trip to Wrigley for some Cardinal legends. John Goodman pays tribute to 3 franchise icons, and take a deeper look at Yadi and Wayno's chase for $325. Newest Cardinals insider tomorrow at 2, Valley Sports Midwest. So again, now you ask Hudson to have another shutdown inning.
Yeah, well, this is one too. I can't imagine Ollie being too patient here. You've had his ball club jump right back into it twice, a base hit right up the middle by Thomas.
And I would say probably a 3rd time through. You're not going to let him do that either.
No, I'm with you. So ground ball right here. Maybe you get 2. You give him a little bit more leeway. But as you mentioned before, there's a rested bullpen out there. You got a lot of guys that can give you some innings.
Well, we've seen it so far in the first 2 games of this series. There is a ton of room inside to Perdomo.
He struck out looking his first time up. So the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks tied 4-4 this Saturday night here in the desert.
Drops down a bunt. Arenado will get the out at first. And Thomas advancing to second. While we have a moment, quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less. For a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Chris Stratton is throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. Here's Dalton Varsho. So leadoff man back up. He is 0 for 2. Grounded out to second. Grounded out in front of the plate. 0 for 2. Go ahead run in scoring position. 1 out. Shift on the right side and a pitch taken high. So for the Cardinals, you're 4 spots away from Albert Pujols. It'll be O'Neill, Goldie, Arenado looking at to the 5th inning. The 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's pretty rare to have a game where you're looking at it and says, you know, can we get past that Goldie and Arenado so we can watch Albert again?
It's incredible.
It is. It is. It's been so much fun.
And the check on the runner at second, Thomas. Inside, and it's 2-1. Kisner using pitch com here. Now time is called. The 2-1 pitch. Dalton Varsho. And he yanks it foul. High down the right field line.
Dan, what have your thoughts been about PitchCom so far this year?
I think I like it. I don't know if it's really necessarily had the result, and I guess we're going to have to talk to some people of speeding up the game. Here's the problem that I have, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I really believe that if you're using PitchCom and have been all season long, and your team goes to postseason play, and these fans are going nuts, and it's loud, they're not going to hear it.
No, we've already seen it.
Yeah.
In regular season games where it was loud. You have the pitcher trying to cover his ear with his glove. I'm with you. It's not going to work in the postseason.
Now, I guess it's been a little bit quicker, and maybe somebody would tell me, oh, no, we've done a study and it's a lot better, but haven't quite seen it. Maybe you don't have as many of the visits going out to say, hey, let's go second sign, third sign, whatever. That definitely changes it.
You will speed that up for sure. One of the things that you haven't seen as much is, look, the sign is already done as you've walked back to the mound instead of, glaring in and just waiting to hear something. That's what I wanted to see a little bit more of. If you're going to use it, use it.
3-2 pitch to Varsho. Fouled back. Would you like it as a pitcher? You always work very quickly anyway.
I don't know if I would or not. I mean, I guess you'd have to wear it and kind of see. From talking to the guys, like you don't feel anything. It's not like it really bothers you, so you'd get used to it like anything else. Just didn't have trouble with the traditional signs, but also a lot has changed in the game of baseball. A lot of people have dug into stealing signs.
3-2 and a swing and a miss, and that's the other part of this too.
Yes,
stealing signs. One thing I know is that you cannot take a cell phone out onto the field like the young man from Pittsburgh did and get caught with your cell phone when you slide.
You know what the funny thing with that was? I couldn't believe he even appealed it. Like, what are we doing?
He appealed that?
I'm pretty sure he appealed it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
How can you appeal that? You got caught with a cell phone in your back pocket.
Everybody likes to take selfies, Dan.
I guess. I mean, with everything we've gone through in the game, with electronics being a part of it, making sure you're trying to take some of it out, and you get caught with a cell phone and you appeal that?
I don't even understand how it happens in the first place, how that's ever in your pocket. And the exchange between he and his third base coach was hilarious. Third base coach was like, I don't want it. I want to give it to me. I didn't have that thing. I bet it's the last time it'll happen for him.
So 2 outs and a runner at second. And a pitch misses inside. Not a lot of first pitch strikes tonight from Hudson.
No, it hasn't been. Coming into this inning, he was at 56% first pitch strike. Just for reference, league average is right around 62%. The rest of the staff is right around 62 or higher. Montgomery's been at 66%.
Little tapper back to Dakota Hudson, who, by the way, is 11 of 20 first pitch strikes. So the Diamondbacks strand a runner, and we move to inning number 5. Tied at 4. Fiesta Cardinals is coming up at the ballpark. Don't want to miss it. Come early, pregame heritage event in the Budweiser Terrace. And for tickets, visit cardinals.com/fiesta. It's presented by He Gets Us, Sunday, August 28th. Here's Tyler O'Neill. 1 for 2 with a base hit to center field his first time up.
It's a good pitch, too. It was a cutter down that he just let travel, drove it right back up the middle.
Hits it to third, gloved by Alcantara, and he makes the play, and Tyler is 1 for 3 on the night. Paul Goldschmidt had a 2-out RBI single to right field back into third, and he's driven in 97. I honestly didn't think that we'd be talking about Albert getting to 700 this year, and now I think it's within reach.
Well, the tear that he's on right now, it absolutely is. As we were talking about before, you don't have to squint.
High fly ball into center. Albert has got 6 home runs now in his last 10 days. So you do that, that's going to put you within certainly striking distance of Alex Rodriguez. So he's 4 back of A-Rod, which would be 4th all time. And you know, you're 8 shy with about 5 weeks to go or so, a little over 5 weeks.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it earlier, just the idea that you can be aggressive with him if it's not a lefty that's starting, if he's starting the game on the bench. If the lefty comes in, he comes in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of, that's exactly how he was used in LA. That's what we've seen Ollie do with him so far, and it has worked.
We were talking to AJ, his son, which is incredible to see AJ now as a grown-up young man.
Yeah, he's a grown man now.
And when I first met AJ, he was maybe knee-high and a little kid running around. And today he was dressed out, running around too, and shagging flies. And he is smiling, and he's so happy for his dad. We were talking to him about it. He said, man, my dad is just loving what's going on.
Yep.
He's having a blast. And he said, we as a family are having a blast being in St. Louis again.
Well, very rarely in the game of baseball do you get to write a story that's this good, you know, and get to see something like this. And you mentioned earlier, got a chance to be a fairy tale ending.
Two balls and a strike. Nolan Arenado. And a rope hit to third. Alcantara makes the play. The outs off of Arenado's bat here lately have been loud, and another one there. 4-4 midway through 5.
Bottom 5 in Arizona, tied at 4. Not counting tonight necessarily, but the Cardinal rotation has been much improved since the trade that brought Jose Quintana and Jordan Montgomery to St. Louis. Montgomery 3-0 with a 0.54 ERA since coming to the Cards. He credits Waino with helping him get comfortable. Montgomery told me, I definitely try to pick his brain. Just watching him pitch, I pick up so much. I've been fortunate to have a lot of veterans help me along in my career, but Waino has been great to be around this season. Danny Jordan's next Cardinal experience, pitching at Wrigley on Monday. I'm sure he's looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We all are. It should be fun. No surprise to hear that a teammate is picking up something from Adam Wainwright. And I'm sure you felt that way even at a young age with Adam Wainwright. You're still picking his brain and vice versa.
Oh, for sure. And Adam, as you know, he's a student of the game. So he's at the point in his career where he can teach a lot, but he's always willing to learn too and wanting to learn. So he'll pick somebody else's brain. He'll watch a rookie go out there and do something, say, hey, how'd you do that? Or why'd you do that? Now, he might be asking because he wants to know. And he might be asking to find out if you know why you did something or how you did it. But he's done that for so many guys along the way, and that's the legacy. That's what you want to leave.
Line drive and a base hit down into the right field corner off the bat of Rojas. And he'll stop at second. The ball was dead against that chain link fence. And if he goes with his speed, that's a leadoff triple.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I really am. I thought he was going to bust for 3 right out of the gate. That's something we've seen the Diamondbacks do a lot here recently. They've been a very aggressive ball club. See on the pitch, Hudson's trying to go away. It ends up leaking in. And this thing does just stop.
No one throwing yet in the bullpen for Arizona, and due up first in the 6th inning, Albert Pujols. who's got 2 home runs tonight. Christian Walker now with a sac fly RBI in the first, was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the third. Now, if Arizona would take the lead, you wonder if they would go then to their pen with Albert coming up, or stay with Mad Bum. I mean, he's a veteran and he pitches around him, or very carefully and lets him stay in the game.
Yeah, it's a weird one, right, when you're looking at the Diamondbacks, because there's a reason you went out and got Madison Bumgarner. It was to eat up innings, to get you deep into games. Also a year in which Arizona, I mean, this is not a playoff contending team, but you got to figure out ways to win games. When you have a chance and you believe that the matchups are there for you, I think you have to go for it. It's not a good matchup to have Mad Bum face Albert again.
And the 1-1 pitch. By the way, a lefty will be going in game 1 at Wrigley for the Cubs in Drew Smyly. I think Albert would probably be in the lineup. I'm going to go out on a limb there.
I can't wait.
Should be great. 2-1 pitch. Popped up on the turf of the outfield. The catch made by Tommy Edman, so they can't advance the runner from second to third, and that's a big out. Well, Jimmy talked about Jordan Montgomery, and let's take a look at our BJC difference maker and guys that have been big time difference makers in one way or another. Certainly Quintana and Montgomery for the Cardinals. Frankie Montas has struggled so far for the Yankees. Hader has been removed from the closer's role, and Taylor Rogers, not great numbers thus far for Milwaukee. From the start of the 2020 season through July 3rd of this year, Josh Hader had allowed 19 earned. Since July 3rd, he's given up 19 earned.
Woof.
Yeah. That'll be it for Dakota Hudson. Cardinals Yearbook is your all-access pass into Waino's inspiring career story on and off the field. Get this first-of-its-kind tribute to Waino. Calling 314-345-9000 or visit cardinals.com/yearbook. Genesis Cabrera is in. Chevy called to the pen. They're trying to figure a little tinkering of his delivery out to increase spin rate, increase a little velocity. It's been down just a tick or two here, so we'll see what he's got tonight.
Well, he bounced back well. 2 outings ago against the Rockies. Remember that one. Faced 4 batters, couple of singles, allowed some inherited runners, couple of home runs as well. Did come back a scoreless inning against the Rockies at home 2 days ago. But the velo has been down about 2 miles an hour. Breaking ball hasn't been as tight. Decent one right there for strike 1. But that guy's a weapon right there.
Oh, no doubt. They need him to be. They need him to be that guy that's been really good the last couple of years.
Well, when he would trot out of the bullpen, there was the fear factor that he was coming in. You knew the velocity, the big time breaking ball as a lefty. Good luck staying in there.
And the 0-1 pitch to McCarthy. Strike 2. And that'll be popped foul and out of play.
So that good fastball upstairs. Does he try that breaking ball down and away? You'll get him to swing over it.
And a check on the runner at second. That's Josh Rojas. Began the inning with a double. Walker popped out to second. And now Jake McCarthy, who is walked and then grounded to Tommy Edman on a sliding play to his left. The 0-2 pitch by Genesis Cabrera.
A really good spot right there. Nice job by Kisner to keep it in front of him. Keep Rojas there at second.
And the 1-2 pitch by Cabrera. The fly ball lifted out to deep center, backing up Carlson. He'll make the catch, and the throw into third is offline, with Rojas tagging up from second to third. Not much a Dillon could do there.
No.
The speed of Rojas.
No, nothing he's going to be able to do. But with the speed of Rojas, really, we'll see how the rest of this inning plays out. Cardinals may have ended up catching a break with Rojas stopping at second instead of trying to push it for three. I mean, that ball down the line certainly looked like he could have been there. That's a run in.
And here's Kelly, who is driven in three. All three coming with 2 outs. Former Cardinal. Played parts of 3 seasons with St. Louis. Remember, originally selected as a third baseman in the second round of 2012. Brother also pitched in the Cardinals organization briefly. 2 outs, runner at third. And ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Little bit low.
A really good spot. Jeff Nelson, the home plate umpire, has been calling that pitch at the bottom of the zone a lot tonight as well. Just didn't get it there. Stay there, though. You're not going to get hurt. It is funny when you see Carson Kelly, too, Dan, that, I mean, remember, there was the talk that he was going to be the guy. Like, that was going to be the guy that takes over for Yachty. He's now in his 4th year with Arizona. Yachty's still here. Longevity, boy. You're not going to see that again.
I was talking to Ali the other day. I said, when you were in the minor leagues as a player, and at one point he was a roommate with Matt Carpenter, and then you were a manager, and then all of a sudden you're coaching and get up to the major leagues. I said, how many guys do you think that Albert Pujols and Yachty blocked? I meant that sincerely.
Yeah.
He said probably 20, 30 players that would have had a shot maybe. Just kept on going.
You're a young player, first base, power hitter, catcher. You're thinking, could you guys just quit?
Right.
The really good careers. Probably going to Cooperstown already. You could probably shut it down. Well, you think about this year and what the Cardinals are doing, and certainly on a historic day where you see Albert crushing 2 home runs, 691 and 692. We know what Yachty has been able to do for you this year and solidify the pitching staff. I don't know where you'd be without these guys.
Agreed.
Waino as well, obviously. He's been the rock in that pitching staff for the last couple of years, certainly.
3-2 the count. The next. Hit sharply to short. Nice play by DeYoung to stay with it. And good work by Genesis Cabrera. We're 4-4, and this guy is coming up, and he's already homered twice tonight. Albert Pujols due up next. 91, and this also moved him past Stan the Man in total bases, second all-time in baseball history. Then in the 4th and 8th pitch at bat, number 692, his 64th multi-home run game. 5th most in Major League Baseball history, passing the great Willie Mays. Many of the fans here in attendance on their feet as he's closing in on number 4 all-time, A-Rod, closing in on 700. The first pitch to him.
Not shocking to see him swinging at that first pitch fastball elevated out of the zone, or up in the zone. It's exactly what happened in the first at bat. It was a fastball down on the first pitch.
The 0-1 pitch. Albert rips it out to left. It's off the wall. Off the base of the wall, and Pujols is 3 for 3.
This is a rope, a breaking ball this time. The first 2 hits were fastballs, Dan. This time it's the curveball. It's down. It's 109.4 miles an hour off the bat. Loud noise. He said I was going to stretch these legs out a little bit, but I'm good.
And now it's Tommy Edman.
You just stay there on first. Be fine. Let him get you in. Last thing you need is that guy extended something and hurt himself.
He wasn't that far away from another home run. Inside, and it's a count of 2 balls and no strikes. Pujols is now 7 for 15 against Madison Bumgarner. Tommy Edman 0 for 2 tonight. The 2-0 pitch. Inside, 3-0. That was his 4th hardest hit ball this season. The ball there just off the wall. And the 3-0 pitch. Albert is running. Throw to second. Got him. Trying to get his 2nd stolen base of the year. Is this 2005? What is going on here?
Yes. Yes, that had to be perfect right there. That throw by Carson Kelly. He got a great jump off of Madison Bumgarner. Lefty, you end up going first movement. He's feeling it right now.
And it's 3-2. And to your point, it did have to take a very good throw by Carson Kelly. He got a great jump. Inside, and Tommy Edman draws the 1-out walk. Celebrate the newest inductees into the Cardinals Hall of Fame. That includes outfielder Matt Holliday, and you'll take home a t-shirt courtesy of Edward Jones. Tickets, more information, visit cardinals.com/promotions. That'll be it for Madison Bumgarner. And Ramirez is coming in, a right-hander, to face Paul DeYoung. So Pujols 3 for 3 with a couple of home runs and then a long single off the wall and left. And then trying to steal a base, took a very good throw by Kelly right there to apply the tag. If not, he's got his 2nd stolen base of the year. And that's the reaction from his teammates.
That's what friends are for right there.
Here's DeYoung, who is 0 for his last 18 with 12 strikeouts, and he'll face Ramirez.
Well, you were joking around about it, right? What year is it? I mean, with him doing these things, you don't think he's feeling the same way? You don't think he feels rejuvenated right now?
No doubt.
No, he's going to be sore tomorrow.
Very.
He'll be fine.
So 1 out and a runner at first. Tommy Edman, 24 steals. And we spoke to Ali today, and one of the questions I had for him, how tempted are you to continue to use Albert lefties or righties? He said, I get it. He said, we are at times, it has to be the perfect situation, but we're trying to set him up for the best success that he can have. Also, as DeYoung hits it into center, he said he's so locked in right now, we wouldn't want him to get kind of out of whack, so to speak, facing some tough righties.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a very smart way to do it. Your job first and foremost, and Ali has been very clear. He said, I'd love to see 700. Would love to see it. But you got to set your team up for the best position to succeed. And there are going to be plenty of opportunities for Albert down the stretch here to be a big part of why you're winning.
Andre Palante is throwing in the St. Louis bullpen, the right-hander. And Andrew Kisner is at the plate, who is 1 for 2. He is struck out swinging on a curveball back in the third. And then a double down into the left field corner was brought in, I should say, with 2 outs and an RBI single by Lars Nootbaar to right.
So 2 outs and a runner at first. Kisner 4 for 6 against the Diamondbacks this year.
Just looking at this line so far here for Albert. Interesting day, huh? Home run 691, 692, a single off the wall, and a caught stealing. Go get him.
You know, we were showing all those tweets about what Waino, Yachty, and Albert mean to so many, and I've had a lot of people say to me, I feel like I'm 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years old all over again watching this guy play.
Well, how often do you see it too with a player that's up there in years, still out there, but you know you're a fan in the stand, you're saying, man, he was good. You're watching him now, you say, he is good.
Really good. I know he has said, I'm not coming back. But we may see a scenario where he's sitting at 698, 699, and finishing with a flourish. I mean, it'd be so tempting to say, yeah, I'm going to come back.
I know it would. And a very difficult decision, I'm sure. He'd love to get that number. I don't feel like he's chasing the number, though.
I don't either. I agree with you.
He's just out here. He wants to win, and he wants to do it in the best spot. There is no better spot for him than here. I don't think that you're going to have the success that he's having right now if you are chasing a number. If you're out there just looking, hey, I got to hit a home run every time, I'm looking for 700, you're not going to see some of the swings and some of the at-bats that you were seeing this guy take. He's digging in on some other poor soul. Look at that video here of his next victim.
The 3-1 pitch to Andrew Kisner. Fouled away, and it's 3-2. If you're a young player, too, you're Nolan Gorman, Donovan, Nootbaar. You're like, it's not supposed to be happening. I'm 23, 24, 25, the prime of my career, and this guy's 42 doing this. I mean, it's just, they're blown away too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and you learn from it, don't you? You learn about the way that the guy prepares. What is he looking at in the video? What specifically? What helps him? How does he keep his swing right? How does he keep his body right? Like, there are so many things you can learn from him. And the beauty of having a guy like Albert is he'll give you everything. He'll give you every bit of information.
And a pitch taken low, so the Cardinals have runners at first and second. 2 walks in the inning.
right fielder Lars Nootbaar.
Cardinals have received 3 tonight. Bumgarner went 5 1/3, 7 hits, struck out 3, walked 2, gave up the 2 home runs to Albert Pujols. And now Nootbaar, who has walked and scored back in the 3rd, and a 2-out RBI single to right field that scored Kisner in the 4th. Two outs and 2 on. Pitch taken outside. And a long look from Ramirez. Good speed at second. We're tied 4-4. I would say all we need to come full circle in this deal is Nelly, but heck, we already had high fives with Nelly between the fence at home.
He's going to have to start traveling.
I think so.
I'm sure he's on tour somewhere.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Nootbaar grounds it fair inside the first base line, down into the right field corner. Edman will score. Here comes Kisner. Ball gets away. Newt, he's going to be waved in. Here comes Nootbaar. Relay to the plate. He scores. Inside the park, home run. Lars Nootbaar brings in 3. Brings in himself. And the Cardinals have the lead. So they're going to say it's a triple and an E9 on the play. So not the inside the Parker, but still fun nonetheless.
Well, it all started innocently enough. It was a change-up, hooked it down the line. You think, okay, well, double. Look at the kick it takes. Then Varsho tries to pick it up with the glove. Has no chance, and Newt can burn. That's an exciting play right there.
It was awesome.
This sounds like a home game.
Sure does. So it's a triple. E9, the 5th error on Varsho. And the Cardinals have opened up a 7-4 lead. 2 runs batted in for Nootbaar, and he's up to 26 on the year. On base 3 times. Don't tell me that baseball is boring. This has been one of the more entertaining games of the season so far. Nootbaar, Pop Warner waves him in, and he scores. Wow. Bunted by Carlson. Ramirez got him. Lars Nootbaar, the triple that brings in 2. The air brings in a 3rd. 7-4 St. Louis.
Pujols, what a night that he has had. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Albert Pujols 3 for 3 with a pair of home runs, 691 and 692. Nootbaar a triple, and then he scores on the air. And with that, it's a 7-4 St. Louis lead. And he's still studying.
He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. That's something that we've noticed all season long with Albert. Even in the games that he's not in, he's watching. He's watching intently every single one of his teammates, or he's digging into video for an at-bat a little bit later on. Andre Palante, your Chevy, called to the bullpen in for his 33rd game. What a weapon this guy has been, too, from a guy that sneaks onto the roster, last guy on. I'm not sure the expectations were for the club that he was going to be playing such a pivotal role. Maybe they thought he'd be up and down throughout the year. He has been so good.
It's a kind of role now with him being extended out as a starter. It's not just 1 or 2, but maybe even 3 or 4 innings potentially.
You're able to build a bridge and a high-end one. A lot of times you look at the prototypical long guy, and certainly Pallante doesn't fit that bill, but he has the ability to eat up those innings and do so well. Tons of ground balls too this year, Pallante, especially the lefties.
The shift on the right side. Alcantara, the switch hitter. So Hudson went 4 1/3, 4 runs, 5 hits, struck out 4, walked 3, hit a man. Genesis Cabrera came in with 1 on, 1 out in the 5th. Got the next 2 outs, no damage done, and the Cardinals have a lead of 7-4. The swing and a miss. And the 1-2 in the dirt, and it's a count of 2-2.
I like the idea with the breaking ball. The couple of strikeouts so far by Alcantara have been breaking ball sliders from Hudson down.
And the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, check swing, did not go, full count. Andre Pallante has allowed 1 earned in his last 17 1/3, 5 appearances.
The thing that just stands out to me with Pallante is his confidence, his poise out on the mound. I don't care if he's given up 5 or he's going through a scoreless streak. He looks like the same guy.
He had that great start in Washington on that Sunday, and he pitched into the 9th inning, was trying to get that complete game. Couldn't quite get it. It was Ryan Helsley who had to finish it off. And really, in any role he's been, he's taken the ball quietly and done a very nice job.
Well, that's not usually the way you get yourself out of a rotation either when you go 8 strong. But then they had the 2 acquisitions. Here's your ground ball.
Arenado off balance, makes the play.
Yeah, you have those 8 scoreless against the Nationals, then you make a couple of moves. You bring in Quintana, you bring in Jordan Montgomery, and then you add a whole nother weapon to this bullpen.
Well, speaking of Ryan Helsley, congratulations to Ryan and his wife, Alex. Eliana was born at 7 pounds 11 ounces. And congratulations to Ryan and his lovely wife as they have a brand new baby. Everybody healthy and doing well. And Ryan, get back here quickly. We're having some fun here too.
That is fantastic. Congratulations. She is beautiful.
Ryan was on the Caravan before he had made it to the big leagues, had a chance to visit with him, and he's the same guy then as he is now in Class X. So congratulations to the Cardinals All-Star and his wife.
They talk about that daddy strength. What's he going to come back throwing 107?
You're right. Now, Ryan, make sure you get your sleep, okay? Definitely need you down the stretch.
That's what road trips are for now.
Pretty much.
You've got a whole different world now.
So count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Alek Thomas is 1 for 2. And the 2-1 pitch. I emceed Wayno's event. Probably, I guess it's at Top Golf. You were right next to me in the bay next to me, and Ryan Helsley and his wife were there, and it was a hot night. And obviously, she's pretty close to giving birth. I said, boy, you got to be ready. She goes, Dan, I was ready about 4 months ago. So congratulations. It's great. High chopper, Arenado, bare hands, throws, pick, got him! It's amazing! It's amazing! Arenado and Goldie again!
Are you kidding me with these two? That's the only play you can make. Look at Goldie's face. He is amazed by this play as well. This thing goes right off the plate. Has to go with the bare hand and throw a rocket. Oh, wow.
Ridiculous. Incredible. Even Goldie, I mean, who rarely smiles in a play like that on the field, is like, really? Really?
Everybody on the field is saying, are you serious right now? I don't know if there's another third baseman in the league that makes that play.
There isn't. So 2 outs and nobody on, and fouled back by Perdomo. That's one that'll go down as on both ends. Both ends, because that's probably, be curious what the throw is. Mid-90s maybe on a short hop. .9 miles per hour on the throw.
From that quick, from that close.
Wow. Can't get quite as much probably as he wanted on it, but still that close at 82, let's say, rounded up. Let's do it again. DeYoung right at the chest of Goldie. So 3 ground outs and another dazzling play from Nolan Arenado and Goldie to hold on. This team right now, they're feeling it. 7-4 St. Louis. Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest, brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. By Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. And presented by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. So my partner said that might be my favorite from Nolan this year.
It might be. I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
Just think of the timing of that play. Everything about it had to be perfect. You know how difficult it is to barehand that ball, be ready to throw? And certainly, as you mentioned, can't forget about the back end of the plate, because a pick by Goldie. I mean, those two have connected on so many incredible plays so far this season. But
man,
that's on my short list, at least.
I think I like the bunt.
Toronto. Is that
Tampa?
Tampa. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite. But that one's rising quickly. I need to take a few more looks at it.
Well, you said it earlier, and that was before the play. This has been one of the most entertaining baseball games of the season.
Might be the most. The grand slam the other day was kind of fun.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Look, there's just been a lot of fun baseball.
It really has. This is Davinsky in our Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Davinsky, 6 runs allowed in his last 4 appearances, 4 1/3. O'Neill hits it sharply to third, backing up on the play, Alcantara. And Tyler O'Neill on his way to second base, gliding in safely. Ruled a double, so the second hit for O'Neill. He's starting to heat it up a little bit.
Well, it's good to see. Coming into this game, over his last 5, he was hitting .375. We've talked about Tyler O'Neill a lot. There are not too many guys in the game of baseball that have his skill set, that have the power, the speed, the athleticism, the glove that he has. They need him. You got to make a deep run. I think this guy's going to have to be a big part of it. That one just eats up Alcantara over there at third.
Here's Goldie. Line foul. Had a 2-out RBI single to right. Bumgarner went 5 1/3. Ramirez came in with 1 on, 1 out in the 6th, and now the right-hander Davinsky. And the 1-1. 1-2 on Goldschmidt. I mean, even Nolan and Goldie had a little smile after that play. You don't see that very often.
Sometimes you surprise yourself.
Maybe so.
But we talk about it a lot. You don't make crazy plays like that unless you practice crazy plays like that. I mean, those are the things.
He does. Hit high in the air to right fielder Dalton Varsho. Hits the cut, and there's one away. The reactions after that play start with Nolan. Thank you very much. Help me out. Little smile. Goldie. Man, you're pretty darn good.
Wow, you see him. I feel like that's how every Cardinal fan's reaction on that play. Wow.
The Cardinals acquired Arenado. We had just seen him briefly. You know, you might see him 6 times out of the year, and it seemed like every trip either to Denver or to St. Louis, he'd make a great play. But now you watch it every day, and it's just incredible. You could make a case the Cardinals have had the best ever at short and Ozzie Smith defensively. This might be the best ever at third.
He's got good company. Scott Rowland is best that I've ever seen on the field, right? Having played behind me. He'd make some highlight reel plays. Nolan is right there.
We had that play against the Yankees too that was incredible on the Saturday night game. Runner goes. Tyler O'Neill, the stolen base. His 9th of the year. And the Diamondbacks left to bring the infield in.
That's just good homework right there. Davinsky fell into a pattern. As soon as he looked back to the mound, you knew as soon as that leg was gone, he's slow anyhow to the plate. The great speed. Tyler O'Neill, one of the fastest guys in the game of baseball as well. You know, if he gets any jump, he can go.
The strike to Arenado. On the play, by the way, Arenado got Alec Thomas, and it was 30 feet seconds, you know, down the line. He's in the 96th percentile of getting down the line. So anyway, all the numbers, he's really fast.
He scoots.
Yeah. Arenado hits a fly ball to Varsho. O'Neill will tag. Catch is made. The throw to the plate, and a run will score to make it 8-4 St. Louis. Nice work, Tyler O'Neill. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. Albert Pujols, 2 home runs here tonight and a long single off the wall and left. .429, .437, and the first pitch to him. Breaking ball and a strike.
Well, not surprisingly, Albert has faced Davinsky, and believe it or not, he's homered against him. He's 3 for 10 with 1 home run.
The check swing did not go. 1 ball and 1 strike. The next.
Albert's going to have to introduce himself to home plate umpire Jeff Nelson.
That can't be a strike down there. Nope. Puts him in the hole. 1-2. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, left side, base hit. He's 4 for 4 tonight. 2 home runs, 2 singles for Albert Pujols.
Second baseman, Tommy Edman.
Your Plaza Tire Service pitch track. Change up in the zone, and that left side is open, and he finds himself a hole.
He pulls the hands in. It ties his season high with his second 4-hit game. The other was at Colorado, the most recent road trip. Albert, by the way, has 4 3-home run games in his career. The last was at Wrigley Field. So he has gone 4 for 4. It was this date in '98. Big Mac hit a home run in each game of a doubleheader against the Mets. Gave him home runs number 50 and 51 back in 1998. Really, in a way, passed the torch for power hitters in St. Louis to Albert Pujols. All kinds of room on the left side of the infield. And the 0-2. Good changeup, and he struck him out. Albert Pujols, a 4-hit night this Saturday night in Arizona. Bottom of the 7th rolls in. And we have African American Heritage Day returning to Busch Stadium Monday, September 5th. Purchase of a special themed ticket. Get a Cardinals cap designed by St. Louis artist and native Brock Seals. And come early for a pregame Heritage celebration in the Budweiser Terrace. Albert Pujols' first game with 4 hits, 2 home runs since April 29th, 2013. It's the 9th time overall in his Hall of Fame career.
I love that. Love seeing that. Corey Dickerson said, what are you looking at? I'm going to do that too. I'm going to dig in.
8 of the 9, by the way, were in St. Louis with Albert Pujols. Incredible. Corey, we all wish we could do what Albert does, but he's the only one I've seen been able to do this.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be as easy as studying the same material. There's some guys that just have something a little bit different.
You tell me you can't cheat, right? I mean, you can't look over and get,
no.
you know.
Yeah, there's no answer over there for you.
Yep. And that's no disrespect to Corey
Dickerson. All.
Dickerson.
Who has been playing some really good baseball, by the way. Dickerson, since coming back off the IL, he has been a factor.
So the top of the lineup for Palante here. That's something that has really changed the game. When Albert first came up, there wasn't guys looking at iPads and video, and yet here he is 2 decades later, and the game has changed, but yet he's still able to adapt, adjust, and put up numbers. You know, he's now close to hitting 270 on the year. He was below 200 for a while. Now that's on the rise, too.
Well, you have to want the information. I mean, you have to want to be able to change and do things different ways, and Albert has done that. We talk a lot about that with Adam Wainwright, and he's always trying to learn and get better. So was that guy.
Pop or?
Oh, both those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, Pop for sure.
There's Pop Warner.
He said, "You got any more of those iPads?"
By the way, Albert is hitting 400 since July 6th. The 2-2 pitch to Varsho. Yanks it foul and out of play.
I would just love to know what it's like to stand in the box and see the baseball like Albert sees it coming in. It's got to be slower than most individuals.
You know, one of the things that was done when he first came to the big leagues, there was a big, you know, like an expose kind of on him, and just who is this guy? You know, he had bursted on the scene, and he'd only had 1 year in the minor leagues. He did have, and that's a good fastball, but he had incredible vision. You know, you can obviously study, measure vision, and his vision was exceptional, off the charts. And I think sometimes we forget how important your eyesight is in a game like baseball.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, 20/20 vision isn't going to cut it. I mean, you have to have very good eyesight, reaction. That guy's got a little bit of everything.
First strikeout for Palante, elevated the fastball on Varsho, and now Rivera. Rivera, a couple of walks, a run scored, and is grounded back to the pitcher. Palante, 4 of 5 first pitch strikes.
He's just pouring it in, especially now with a 4-run lead. Why mess around? Go right after these guys.
April of 2001, the first of his 692 home runs. Ray Langford, John Mabry there. And we had no idea what was about to come. Mike Matheny. Man, oh man.
Look how cool and calm he was after his first one, though.
Yep.
That didn't look like a rookie hitting his first homer. You get back-to-back punch-outs here from Palante. This time the slider on the corner.
Second baseman, Josh.
You know, you look, though, at that first video, the stance hasn't changed all that much. Now, he used to kind of lay the bat a little bit more parallel to the ground. You don't see that as much. But the wide base, he's not quite as closed up anymore. But,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of similarities to just over 2 decades ago and the millions of swings he's taken since then.
Well, while there might be small tweaks, you're not going to reinvent the wheel. When something is working, you stick with it. And he always is, and every good hitter does, generate their power from their legs, from their base. But strong base, trusts his hands. The hands look faster right now, too.
There's a 1-0 pitch. We were talking to some of the staff before the game about his hands, and in particular right-handed pitching that would be on the mound. And he has gone back to, wait a minute, maybe the last couple of years I didn't trust him as much as I should have, and made an adjustment clearly. But you can see he's getting to balls inside that he was not getting to earlier this season even.
Well, the thing is, if you make a mistake, he'll make you pay for it. If you spot up a fastball mid to upper 90s in, you might be able to get him. You let that thing leak over the plate a little bit, you might be asking for a new baseball.
Also got to think about the young fans that are getting a chance to watch him now, that had heard about him but never seen him in person, and now they're becoming baseball fans, Cardinal fans, Albert fans. And the first base runner allowed by Andre Palante as the Cat has the wave going here in Arizona. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Greg Sonnenberg.
Being able to check your account, move money, even deposit checks on the go helps you spend less time banking and more time focusing on what really matters. Great convenience, great Southern Bank.
So the 2-out walk, and it brings in Christian Walker with the Cardinals leading 8-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Curveball taken high. On the night this far for Palante, 1 shy of 30 pitches. We'll see how deep he can go in this game. There was a time, I remember, we were in Atlanta earlier this season. Cardinals had Matthew Liberatore on the mound, and Ollie thinking, how am I going to get through this game? Because they had been going to their bullpen a ton, and that is the ups and downs of a long season. But right now, things are falling into place, even with 4 1/3 from Hudson. But because of the previous starts and guys going deep, you feel way more protected.
Yeah, you do. You do. And we've seen it from Waino all year. We've seen it from Michaelis all year. But what a shot in the arm Quintana, Montgomery have been. It allows you to be aggressive in a game like this. And this is a game, the battling back and forth early on, you knew you had to be aggressive. Like, you weren't going to let Dakota get into a spot again where he runs into some trouble. It's a game like you feel like you have to win.
Ground ball taken by Arenado. Settles and over to Goldie. Strand a runner. They have left 6 on, and we move to the 8th. 8-4. Starter Jose Quintana. This season with the Cardinals, 1-0 with a 2.65 ERA. 16 strikeouts, only 6 walks. The opposition hitting just 200 against him. Merrill Kelly will get the start for Arizona. Right-handed pitcher. Saw him earlier this season. He's been good this year. Joe Mantiply, the Chevy Colt to the pen.
Well, Mantiply has been pretty good this year as well, especially lately. He's riding a 12-game scoreless streak. Pumps a lot of strikes. I mean, this guy, right-handers, you're going to end up seeing a lot of the fastball, changeup. Lefty goes to the fastball slider.
And here is Paul DeYoung. DeYoung hitless tonight, 0 for 3. And the first pitch, a strike. I think of concern as the Cardinals are winning a lot of these games is what's happening with DeYoung. They got to get him back on track.
Yeah, 0 for his last 19. Last at bat, he had a fastball that was elevated, just popped it up. Just want to get him back to that stroke he had right when he came back. Again, another weapon that you have with power potential late in this lineup.
And the 0-2. Watch out. Cardinals going for their 6th win in a row. They are 13-3 here in the month of August. Off the plate. And again, Chicago beat Milwaukee, so the Cardinals could wake up tomorrow with a win and be 5 in front. For the first time, they'd have a lead of 5 games since 2015.
I'm sorry, 2015.
2015.
Happens quickly too, doesn't it?
Big time. And DeYoung lifts a fly ball out to left. McCarthy is under it, and he'll make the catch. And the batter will be Andrew Kisner, who is struck out, doubled down into the left field corner, scored, and walked and scored in the 6th on the triple hit by Newbar. Inside and take it for a ball. Crowd tonight 34,240, 3-4, 240. And the 1-0. Hit to short. Perdomo up with it and makes the play for out number 2. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Jack in the Box.
Mix good sauce with my new spicy good sauce for spicy good sauce.
Lars Nootbaar on base 3 times tonight. He had a triple. Wound up scoring on the play, and a ball that went down into the right field corner. Varsho had trouble getting it back in. It was a triple, then an error, but 3 came in on the play. Cardinals have out-hit Arizona 10-5 tonight.
I've been very impressed with Newt and what he's been able to do. He got the opportunity when Bader got hurt initially. He was getting reps out in the outfield. Then he got traded, and he's taken over. He's run with it.
Hits it the other way, and Nootbaar a 3-hit night. On base for the 4th time. He's got to love it when everybody's nude. I mean, he's got to love that.
Center fielder.
This one's just elevated, goes the other way with it. We've seen him turn on one, had the ground ball last time down that right field line for the triple. Hit him where they ain't.
Yep. Here's Dylan Carlson.
Trying to get into the act here
Tonight, 0 for 4. And a pitch taken low and outside. That'll be a base hit down into right center. Nootbaar from first to third. Great base running. Lars Nootbaar showing off the wheels. Back-to-back 2-out hits, and in steps Tyler O'Neill with runners at the corners. That assures we're going to see Albert hit one more time.
Oh, I like that. This is a sinker that gets in on the hands of Carlson a little bit, but he's strong enough to be able to get to it. And great base running, to your point, by Newt. Newt knows as soon as this thing is up that he's going to be on third. Makes it there easily.
O'Neill with a single to center in the third. A double against Davinsky and a stolen base in the 7th. 2 outs and 2 on. And the first pitch is strike. Goldie on deck, then Arenado and Albert. Albert Pujols, for those that have just joined us, 4 for 4 with 2 home runs. Numbers 691 and 692. The 0-1. 0-2. Season high 3 hits for Nootbaar. 4th time he's done that in his career. He's at third. Carlson is at first. And the 0-2 pitch to Tyler O'Neill. The check swing, he did go, and a strikeout of O'Neill. Midway through 8 here in Arizona on a Saturday night. It's 8-4.
Hit the Diamondbacks 12-5. Let's turn to our Budweiser play of the game, and it's defense. We could go with Albert. You could go with Newt. We're going to go with this one. Wow. You'll be seeing that time or two on both ends. Go ahead and try that one at home. Wow. See how that works. Everything about the play had to be perfect. You mentioned the sprint speed. I mean, that's a guy that gets down the line quickly. You got to make sure you get the quick transfer. You get the wow from Goldie. Been spoiled here watching this defense.
And don't go anywhere because Albert is due up third with 2 home runs and a 4-hit night. Jordan Hicks into the ballgame. Our Chevy called to the pen. So 2 scoreless put together there by Palante. Walked 1, struck out 2. No hits allowed. Saw Hicks pitch in the ball game last night.
Worked himself around a couple of hits, punched out 3 in the 9th inning.
Ollie said to both of us today that, yeah, sometimes the results, especially in the 2nd inning of the work of Jordan Hicks, haven't been great, but mentally and some of the things that we're seeing, we like it. Things are going in the right direction.
He's dialed in.
Yeah. We'll see if that happens here tonight. The 1-1 pitch, and McCarthy fouls it back.
You know this, Dan. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. There are guys that have physical gifts, and the arm of Jordan Hicks is an incredible gift. But can you lock in pitch to pitch? And I think we're seeing more and more of that with him. And I like seeing the adjustments. If he misses arm side with a sinker, what do you do the next pitch? Do you figure it out quick then? I think we're seeing more of it.
And a high drive into deep right. Nootbaar back and gone. Home run hit by McCarthy. Looked like he hung a slider there. And his 4th home run to cut the lead to 8-5.
Well, I think that we're going to get a chance here to see a perfect example of what we were just talking about. That was a mistake. It was, to your point, a hanging slider. It's down and into him, and able to drive it out of the ballpark, make it a 3-run game. Now what does Jordan Hicks do? How does he lock right back in after this?
And the fastball taken low and away. Carson Kelly, Mark Melancon is getting loose in the pen for Arizona. Now, with Hicks having pitched last night and you bring him back 2 nights in a row, this is also maybe trying to find out what does he look like back to back.
Well, you're going to need it. You're going to need it down the stretch.
And I think that's one of the reasons you do this.
Yep. How big of a weapon he is. You got to know if you can use him.
Kelly, 3 runs batted in tonight, couple of hits. He's 2 for 3. And now the walk. That's going to get some activity, I would assume, in the bullpen quickly for the Cardinals.
But that last pitch certainly didn't miss, as see Mike Maddox anxiously watching from the top step. The beauty of the stuff that Jordan Hicks has is you know that he's 1 sinker away from 2 outs.
Sergio Alcantara 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts, and also good play by Arenado. Took a hit away. Hicks' 4th walk in his last 4 innings. First home run allowed to a lefty all year. By the way, Albert Pujols tonight, first player in the history of Major League Baseball with 4 hits, 2 home runs in the same game, age 42 or older.
No big deal.
First time it's ever happened.
Age is nothing but a number, Dan.
With him, apparently. Giovanni Gallegos getting loose in the pen. The watchful eye of Brian Eversgerd out there. Longtime bullpen coach now of the Cardinals. I don't think I've ever seen Gertie without a smile, too. One of the nicest people you meet in the game, too.
Yes, he is. And he's got that kind of presence down in a bullpen that you love to have. Always happy, never pressing. Great advice for you. You need that. You have somebody down there that's stressed out all the time before a guy goes into a game. Boy, that's a bad combo.
Hit the other way, fair ball. Kelly to third base. It'll be a double for Sergio Alcantara. And things getting a little tight here late.
Well, with everything else that's happened in this game, I guess this shouldn't be a surprise. We've seen a little bit of everything. Just an emergency hack right here by Alcantara. Just sticks the bat out. It's a 101.2 mile an hour sinker and just gets enough of it to get it out into left field.
Alec Thomas, who was robbed by Arenado with that remarkable defensive play last time up, is 1 for 3 on the night, and all of a sudden he represents the tying run at the plate. There's nobody out, and that gets through Kisner. Hicks not at the plate. Run scores easily. That's Kelly, and it's now 8-6.
You got a 100-mile-an-hour sinker here, looking for it away. Misses way in on this one. You'd love to be able to knock it down. Easier said than done. I don't think that you're going to be able to get him at the plate once it kicked off, but either way, you would like to have Hicks there.
Alcantara ahead in the count 1-0. By the way, Paul Goldschmidt always into the game. He was racing to back up the throw just in case it went to Hicks. He was standing at the mound.
That's not surprising at all.
Nope.
It is something to remember. I know we got a lot of young Cardinal fans that tune in. There's always somewhere to be. Always somewhere on the diamond. You could be backing up, helping somebody.
And a ground ball softly hit right side. Hicks to the bag and safe.
That right there is a mental mistake by Jordan Hicks. He needs to be busting over to first to be able to cover that bag. You have to be able to beat him there. Anything to the right side, you're busting there. Busting, not jogging.
The speed of Thomas, no problem at all, and that brings in another run, and all of a sudden it's an 8-7 game. He's got to be there. That'll be it for Hicks, and Gallegos coming in. Still a ways to go. Nobody out in the home half of the 8th. Hicks and now Gallegos, and our Chevy called to the pen. Runner at first, nobody out in a 1-run game here in the 8th inning.
Getting dicey fast right there. It's an inning that just ended up snowballing on Jordan Hicks, and Giovanni Gallegos looking to shut the door on it. Gio, a couple of scoreless innings. Last 2 times out, Tuesday and Wednesday against the Rockies.
So Hicks gave up the home run, then a walk, a base hit, a double the other way, and then a single. And certainly a frustrating night for him. So Gallegos is in, finishing up his warm-up tosses. And buckle up here. Still 6 outs to go. Perdomo is hitless in this game. Called out on strikes, sacrificed and grounded out. Hicks 7 earned in his last 4 innings. It's the 4th time he's allowed 3 or more runs in a game.
I mean, it really is hard to comprehend those numbers when you watch the stuff that he has.
I don't get it.
But it's the consistency of it. It's being able to put the ball where he wants to. You still have to be able to have that secondary pitch, the slider.
Check on the runner at first. Thomas has 4 stolen bases this year. been a wild one here tonight in Arizona and very entertaining.
I've seen the Cardinals pound Perdomo in so far in these 2 games. A lot of room in there. You can get swing and miss. You can also get your weak ground ball.
The way things have been going for Perdomo, even with situation to put you on top swinging the bat, you have to be thinking about bunting this spot if you're the Cardinals.
Well, you do, and that's why Nolan Arenado is down his throat. Had he dropped down that bunt, I think Nolan easily was making that play at second base.
And the 1-0 pitch from Gallegos. Bunted towards first, and so the only play, Goldie to Edman covering the bag and the tying run in scoring position.
A really good bunt.
Yeah. Sacrifice 3-4 on the play, and it puts Thomas at second base with good speed. Ian Kennedy, a right-hander in the bullpen for Arizona, begins to throw. The top of the lineup in Dalton Varsho, who is 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts and 2 groundouts. The swing and a miss. Dalton is named after Darren Dalton, teammate of his father, Gary Varsho, played a number of years in the big leagues. The 0-1. 0-2. Cardinals in the 9th inning will have Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Pujols. The 0-2. Kept in front by Kisner. Diamondbacks have scored 3 here in their half of the 8th.
This is a situation right here with 1 out. You really need Kisner working behind the plate. Got fortunate on that ball, came up a little bit, but able to corral it. You know, with that breaking ball of Gallegos, he can bounce it. You get a lot of ugly swing and misses under the zone.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to Dalton Varsho. Hit softly up the middle. And the play made by Paul DeJong. And there's 2 away. With the tying run down at third base. Emmanuel Rivera, 2 walks, a run scored. Grounded back to Dakota Hudson and also struck out looking. The first pitch to Rivera. And again, remember the Cardinals without Ryan Helsley here tonight after the birth, brand new baby. So he's back home. Would assume we see him in Chicago at some point. 2 outs and the runner at third in an 8-7 game. The next. 1 ball and 1 strike. Might be that you're asking Gallegos to get you 6 tonight.
Yeah, certainly could. Maybe, and maybe it ends up being Gallegos and a lefty. I don't know if you, in this ball game, your first look at Romero is in this one. We've seen Naughton be able to come in against the lefty.
Remember
Farewell.
what Packy did against Atlanta?
Oh, yeah. That was a big road trip for Packy because he had a couple of games in Philly where he saved their bacon also.
The 1-1. 1-2. The big crowd here tonight, 34,240. And making noise. The tying run at third base.
I think you get him with the good slider down the way right here. Once he gets to 2 strikes, he's in swing mode.
One ball and 2 strikes. The next. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Good work by Giovanni Gallegos and keeps this a 1-run St. Louis lead. The big boys coming up. Eight to 7, St. Louis, top of the 9th rolls in. Dakota Hudson 4 1/3. Albert Pujols a 4-hit night. At his age, 42 years old, it's never been done in baseball. 4-hit night with 2 home runs, driven into the solo shots. Nootbaar 3 for 3. Mark Melancon will get Goldie, Arenado, and Albert. Chevy called to the pen.
Well, Mark Melancon, the 4-time All-Star. I mean, this guy has been good for a long time. Now, a little bit different than he was in his heyday. Remember him from Pittsburgh for quite some time. Signed a big deal with San Francisco last year with the Padres.
Goldie with an RBI single to right with 2 outs back in the 3rd. He's 1 for 4. It was the 97th run that he's driven in. And the first pitch outside. Big gap left center for Goldie. The next by Melancon. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, that's where Mark Melancon's going to try to stay. He throws the cutter a lot away. Going to try to make Goldie beat you that way. Good career numbers against him with a couple of home runs.
No one throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. The 2-0 pitch. Hit up the middle and a base hit. Cardinals' 13th hit tonight. And the second hit for Goldschmidt.
It's a good pitch. I mean, it's right there on the corner, and Goldie just gets it off the end of the bat, but finds the perfect spot for it.
Nolan Gorman is moved to the on-deck circle, presumably to hit for Albert Pujols. So it was a solid year last year. 39 saves for Mark Melancon, which led the major leagues. Arenado, a drive out to left. It is off the wall. Goldie read it all the way. He was hustling, and Pop not taking any chances. So with that, it's 2nd and 3rd. And will they go with Nolan Gorman here or Albert Pujols? It will be Nolan Gorman.
This is a good cutter again. It's down the way. We've seen, though, how Nolan Arenado can cover anything that way. Drives it off the wall. And if it's not a perfect carom to McCarthy, I think Goldie's going to go, but he plays it really well off the wall.
Nolan Gorman back in his hometown. He's introduced and gets booed. His first plate appearance here in Phoenix, Arizona,
Tough
because
league.
he's pinch hitting for Albert Pujols. He's got an entire section of family and friends all weekend here. So Albert Pujols, who just joined us back in the second, the designated hitter tonight, home run number 691, and he's now second all-time in total bases as he passed Stan the Man. That was with 6,137. He had an 8-pitch at bat in the fourth, home run number 692, 64th multi-home run game, 5th in baseball history, past Willie Mays. Albert wasn't done, singled off the wall in left, then was caught stealing, and then had a base hit to left in the seventh. Infield is drawn in. And Nolan Gorman to face Mark Melancon. Nobody out, second and third. We asked Ollie about last night. How tough was it to not pinch hit or stay with Albert? And he said, definitely. You're on the fence at times with what to do, but some of the numbers at that time with the runner at third, less than 2 outs, it said to stick with Albert. It just didn't work.
Yeah, he said it's a balance, right? It's a balance between the numbers, the feel for it, and that's the managerial job. It's tough decisions.
Little flare out to center and a base hit for Nolan Gorman. Goldie will score. Nolan Gorman back in his hometown picks up an RBI pinch hit base hit.
Well, this is a typical Mark Melancon cutter, and he does a good job of eating up left-handers. This one gets in there on Gorman, but he's strong enough to just get it out into the outfield.
And the family reaction.
That's awesome. Man, what a fun game this has been.
Yes, it has. It's had everything.
Runners at first and third, and back to a 2-run lead. 9-7 Cardinals. Gorman, by the way, extending his hitting streak to a career high 7. And a pitch taken down. Arenado with 4 doubles in his last 2 games. He's standing at third base. And Nolan Gorman at first. Tommy Edman is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored tonight. Melancon just staring back into the home plate umpire, Jeff Nelson.
Well, it's been a little bit of an interesting strike zone, hasn't it? Because early in the ball game, that was a strike. Looked like for both starters, it was a strike under the zone. Things have changed since the bullpens have come in.
2-0 the count. Couldn't hold up, and a strike.
Bumgarner, Ramirez, Davinsky, Mantiply, and now Melancon. Grew up in Golden, Colorado. That's a former gold rush town located in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains.
Have you been there panning for gold?
I have not. I just study.
I know you do, buddy.
Extensively. All towns have a little story to them, Bradley.
Yes, they do.
The 2-1. And all players have a story too, which is fun. Melanson, a guy that was kind of on the scrap heap there for a while and has emerged with now his 12th major league season. He's been, as you mentioned, an all-star, one of the premier closers in the game. That's what I love about baseball. You just never, ever know.
No, and it was an interesting signing, really, to spend some money on Melanson for the Diamondbacks. But you need somebody, you need a steady presence at the back end. They signed him up to a 2-year, $6 million deal. And this is on the heels of, we talked about that. I mean, he signed a monster deal with San Francisco a few years back.
Also mixed in a little time with the Braves, too. Obviously, the years that he had with the Pirates, he's been with the Yankees and the Red Sox. Twice he has led the majors in saves. The 3-2 pitch, runner goes, and it's a ball down and in, and the bases will be loaded. So nobody out for St. Louis. Boy, if there was ever a time for Paul DeJong to get a hit or something positive, it would be now.
You are lying. 0 for his last 20 coming in. This is after such a hot start. But he's not going to get the chance to face Melanson here.
Edwin Uceta, we saw him last night, will come in to face Paul DeJong. And the Cardinals here in the top of the ninth with a 2-run lead and the bases loaded, and Paul DeJong coming up.
Well, as you mentioned, we did see him last night, an inning and a third, 1 hit. He punched out 3. One of those 3 was in fact Paul DeJong. And like you said, at 0 for 20, he's looking for something good. Came back hot. There was an energy there. You can tell mentally he's still in a really good spot. He just needs to get that swing right again. All it takes is 1.
So for 20, 12 Ks along the way, but let's see if he can't come through. They'll have a shift on the infield with the infield drawn in. Edman, Gorman, Arenado all aboard for St. Louis. And the first pitch, breaking ball outside and low. And the 1-0. DeJong with a high drive out to deep left, at the track, at the wall, grand slammer! DeJong snaps the 0 for 20 with an exclamation point and a grand slam.
The huge smile on the face of Paul DeJong. We just talked about it, Dan. All it takes is 1. And he got one that he could crush. Center cut by Uceta, and he doesn't miss it. You know that felt good.
Oh, did he need that? Home run number 6 for DeJong, and it's a grand slam. Now you feel like you can breathe a little bit if you're the Cardinals. 13-7 St. Louis. Now do you stick with Gallegos knowing that Helsley probably is not here tomorrow? I would have to assume. So
yeah, I'd be inclined to get him out of there.
I would too. You're up by 6. You'd like to think that you could hold a 6-run lead and get 3 outs and keep him available for tomorrow. It's one thing about Giovanni. He has been willing to take the ball all the time. Good, bad, indifferent.
Well, you appreciate that, and you need that in the bullpen.
And that's hit out of play by Kisner. The Cardinals with 5 runs here in the top of the 9th.
Second career grand slam, and the other for DeJong was against Washington back in 2018. That's fought off. And that will drop, and a base hit for Kisner. On base for the third time. Nootbaar has been on base 4 times tonight. 6 have come to the dish. All 6 have reached. The first pitch to Nootbaar. Taken low. He walked and scored into third. 2-out RBI single to right. Then he had the triple down into the corner that he came around to score on all the way after Varsho mishandled it. That brought in 2, and he's also got a single to left against the shift.
It's a good changeup right there by Uceta. Love what we're seeing in this ball game too, Dan. You know how important it is. You got to be able to beat teams in different ways, and sometimes you're going to have to win a slugfest, and that's exactly what the Cardinals are doing right here. We've had so many great pitching performances, and I love seeing that smile from Paul DeJong. So many great pitching performances throughout the year, but sometimes you got to win like this.
And you mentioned it early on where the Cardinals fell behind, and you said, hey, they may go to their bullpen early tonight because you're going to get some runs. It's going to go back and forth, and you were 100% correct. As Nootbaar fouls it back, and that's strike 2. That pitch taken low. Three and 2 the count. Shift on the right side.
Well, Newt's going to get something to drive here. He's just looking for that fastball elevated.
Popped up left side, out of play. And the 3-2 pitch to Nootbaar. Down, and that's a ball. Uceta's come in, given up a grand slam, a base hit, and Lars Nootbaar is on base for the 5th time in this game. Cardinals have received 5 walks tonight. Dylan Carlson with a base hit to center back in the 8th inning. He's 1 for 5. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and a swing and a miss by Carlson.
It's a lonely feeling when you know this is him. I mean, this is him.
Yep.
The rest of this inning. Got to be able to get through it.
8th man to come to the dish, and nobody out. Tyler O'Neill on deck, and a count of 1 ball and 1 strike.
Uceta's got that change up, and it's an effective pitch. But he's also got his fastball, and I don't think he's able to elevate it enough. That could go into a danger zone for Dylan.
And he rolls over on that pitch, backhanded. Walker will step on the bag, and the out. Runners advance to second and third. Tyler O'Neill, a 2-hit night, a stolen base, and a run scored. Single and a double. This all started with a base hit by Paul Goldschmidt against Melanson to begin the inning. Arenado his 4th double in the last 2 games. Nolan Gorman pinch hitting for Pujols, who was 4 for 4.
Probably not the easiest decision either.
I was thinking that too. Not at all. Infield drawn in with the Cardinals leading 13-7. O'Neill lines it into the glove of the second baseman Rojas, and he takes a hit and 2 runs away from the Cardinals.
First baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
And here's Goldschmidt with runners at second and third. And 2 outs, 2 hits tonight for Paul. He's got an RBI and a run scored. And the first pitch taken high for a ball. You can hear it at home in St. Louis through your TV. MVP from the crowd.
Well, you've talked about it throughout this game. There's been so much back and forth. Obviously, with 20 runs scored in the game, there's been a lot of offense.
It has been a lot louder on the Cardinals side.
2-1. Last Cardinal with 2 hits in an inning was Nolan Arenado against Cincinnati back in the 2021 campaign. The 2-1 pitch with 2 runners on. 3-1. Arenado on deck. Once again, the middle of this lineup, 3, 4, and 5. A lot of damage. Goldie could get RBI number 100 with 1 swing of the bat. He's sitting at 97 runs batted in on the year. The 2-out RBI single to right back in the third to give him 97. He's got 30 home runs.
Well, we saw the same setup in that inning. He's looking away now with 2 strikes. Drive the ball. Right side is still open.
The 3-2 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. A drive into deep right field. Varsho back. It's gone! 100 driven in by Paul Goldschmidt. He's driven in 4 tonight.
Home runs in back-to-back nights. MVP.
This is Goldie knowing the situation, knowing what he's going to try to do to you. 2 strikes, he's got to stay away, not trying to go in, and he drives this thing out of the ballpark, opposite field. What a year.
He drives in his 100th with 1 swing of the bat and a 3-run shot. 31 home runs, 100 runs batted in for Paul Goldschmidt. What a year. We're not even to September.
I was just going to ask, what are these numbers going to look like at the end of the season?
Incredible.
Just the second time now since 2012 that a Cardinal has driven in 100. It was Nolan that did it last year. It had been a long gap since Matt Holliday did it in 2012.
Cardinals with an 8-run top of the 9th, and it's the most runs they've scored in an inning this season. The 1-2, the strikeout of Nolan Arenado. An 8-run St. Louis top of the 9th to make it 16-7, and Goldie has hit the century mark in runs batted in.
St. Louis now pitching number 59.
Get a chance at a Cardinal debut here in JoJo Romero. He's part of the Edmundo Sosa deal and comes in our Chevy call to the pen. One of the things we heard about JoJo is that this is a guy that from the left side is hitting 97, 98, occasionally 99. So could be a weapon. Paul Goldschmidt with his 31st home run. He's driven in 4 tonight and now 100 for the season. And without question, he is your leader, in my opinion, and I don't think many people would disagree for MVP.
There's some guys having good years, but not like that. And how about the swing of the bat from Paul DeJong? Snapped it 0 for 20 with a grand slam. He needed that. They needed it. Been quite the evening. I'm looking forward to see what we got here out of JoJo Romero. You mentioned the velocity, the reports where he's aggressive with it. I still think that there's opportunity in this bullpen. You're looking for somebody that comes in there, pump strikes, has big stuff. Might not feel like it, Dan, in a 9-run game. This is a big spot for him.
One of the things the Cardinals have talked about, you've heard Ollie talk about it, John Mozeliak has talked about it, swing and miss stuff. You know, can we get a little bit more swing and miss coming out of our pitching staff and maybe the back end? We'll see. And the 0-1 pitch to Rojas. That'll play. Sharp breaking ball there.
Yeah, you go 96 and then throw that slider off of it. I'll take that.
Fastball taken high. Prior to tonight, Cardinal seasons with 30 or more home runs, 100 or more driven in before September. Well, no shock here. Albert in 05, 6, and 9. And he also did it in 2004 with Scott Rowland, and 03, and 02, and 01.
Yeah, not shocking.
And the 3-1 pitch to Rojas. A swing and a miss. 3-2.
It's a 3-1 fastball count, and that's the swing you get. It tells me that he's deceptive on the lefties. That pitch was located away, and that was an awkward swing.
Three-two pitch by Romero. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. 97 on the outside corner.
And so far so good, showing his ability to spot that fastball where he wants to. I mean, this is right there on the corner. If he's not swinging, he's getting the call.
Eighth strikeout in the lineup for Arizona. The check swing, Christian Walker. Walker, as a sac fly, run batted in, was hit by a pitch and scored a run. And the 0-1 pitch. Now 0-2.
Pulled the string on a changeup right there. Look at the career numbers. An ERA north of 7. Doesn't seem to match with what we're seeing with the pitcher. And that's something that the Cardinals do a really good job of in their organization, is they figure out what tools a player has and then figure out how do you best deploy it. You know, how do you call the best game or a best inning for JoJo Romero.
And the 0-2.
Boy, we've seen a little bit of everything from the Cardinals here tonight. Nolan Gorman coming off the bench. You had the night for Pujols. The play by Arenado and Goldie. Yanked down the left field line. Foul. And now you're getting a look at what might be a weapon down the stretch for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it could be. You just never know. Who's the hot hand in that bullpen down the stretch? Could be Romero. Showing the good fastball. I like a good changeup down the way here.
You got to think, too, like in 2011 when they made that deal, it revamped the bullpen.
Yeah.
It changed so much late. The 1-2. Inside corner and back-to-back Ks for Romero.
How about his ability to spot this pitch? You know that if you make a mistake over the plate, he can make you pay for it. And this is right there. Gets the call from home plate umpire Jeff Nelson on the corner. Walker not happy about it. Might have been a little in, but spotted up perfect.
And so back-to-back Ks, and here's McCarthy, who homered against Hicks his last time up, and a fly ball to left fielder Tyler O'Neill, and this will do it. The Cardinals win a wild one. 16-7. They win the series and a chance to pick up a sweep tomorrow.
Well, impressive debut right here for JoJo Romero. How about the day for Albert Pujols? Are you kidding me? 2 home runs, number 691 and 92. Goldie with the bomb. Incredible defense, and the Cardinals with a 5-game lead in the NL Central. That was a fun one.
Cardinals now 68-51. Goldie hits the century mark and runs batted in. 2 home runs in this series. Big night for Albert. Post game, all the reaction coming your way next.